Hi class, welcome again to another session on biomaterials. So we have been discussing polymeric implant materials, which is our third unit. So today we shall discuss the types of polymers. So basically polymers can be homopolymer or heteropolymer based on the type of monomer that is used. If the same monomer is used, then it is homopolymer. If different monomers are used, then it is hetero or copolymers. Now copolymers can be of again four types: alternating, block, graft and random. So let us just see the structure of each one of them. So here let me just get a pointer. I shall just take a pen. So here you have A, B, L. Here you just have A, which is one polymer. So this is a homopolymer because this is just one polymer where each alphabet is a polymer. Now if you just take this figure, then it has two A's, then a B, then then an A, then a B, and then two A's and then two B's and A. So there's no pattern in which A and B should be arranged. It's just a generic pattern. You can't specify it. So that's why this is a random polymer, random copolymer. Now the third one, the C image, you have AB, AB, AB and so on. Like it's alternating. So this one is a alternating polymer, and then in this one you have 4 A's followed by 4 B's, then again followed by 4 A's, and the next section would be 4B, and then the next section would be 4A and so on. So you have block of A monomer, then block of B monomer, then another block of A monomer and so on. So that's why this is called as the block copolymer. Now the last one is a graft copolymer, where you have one copolymer which is forming the main chain, and then another one monomer is forming the main chain and the other monomer is just branching out from the main chain. That is why this is the graft polymer, because it's just getting grafted. It's like taking a graft cutting out of some plant, right? So this is what are the factors that are influencing the properties of a polymer? So there are basically four factors. One is the molecular weight, second is the molecular structure, third one is the intermolecular force, and fourth is the polymer crystallinity, right? So polymers will have different types of a different number of monomers. So if you take polyethylene, so if there are like 10 molecules of ethylene, that also is considered as polyethylene. If there are 50 molecules of ethylene, then that is also considered as polyethylene only. So how do you calculate the molecular weight? If you do not know exactly how many number of molecules are there, then how do you calculate? So for that, either you have to know the weight of the monomer, or you have to know the number of the monomer, right? Either one of these, then you will be able to, like if you know how many monomers are there in the chain, then you can use the number average molecular weight method to calculate it. And if you know the molecular weight of the polymer of the monomer, then you can use weight average molecular weight for calculation. So molecular weight actually plays an important role in deciding the characteristics of the polymer, in the sense that whether the polymer is densely packed or whether the polymer is not, whether the polymer is kind of lightly packed. So lightly packed polymer is can be torn easily, whereas a densely packed polymer is very, very rigid, right? So next is the molecular structure. So you have the simple branched and cross-linked molecular structure. So we shall see them in a bit. Before that, let us just discuss the intermolecular force. So you have the intermolecular force as the weak and strong intermolecular force that forms between the two monomers. Also you have the van der Waals forces that are formed between the molecules. So weak van der Waals force or strong van der Waals force is very, very instrumental in deciding how much energy is required to break a covalent bond, right? Because I am saying covalent bond because we are dealing with hydrocarbons. Polymers are basically hydrocarbons, and carbon usually forms covalent bonds. It does not form electronic bonds. So covalent bonds are very very strong in general, but what is the van der Waals force between the two molecules will also decide on the strength of the bond. So how much energy is required to break the bond and make the free radicals available is also dependent upon the intermolecular forces. So that would again influence the property of the polymer. The last one is the crystallinity, which makes which is like either the polymer can be amorphous, semi-crystalline or crystalline. So when I say amorphous, it means if you melt the polymer, it does not become a smooth fluid, it does not flow very well. Semi-crystalline would actually flow better than an amorphous one, but crystalline is like forms a very smooth fluid once it is melted, and that would result in a free flowing liquid. So this is the polymer crystallinity, and it plays an important role when you are like melting the polymer and forming scaffolds, right? If you want a porous scaffold, if you do not want a very smooth surface, then you should go for something that is amorphous or semi-crystalline. However, crystalline would produce a very smooth surface, and because it melts into a very smooth liquid. Now here is an example of different type of polymers. So this first one is a simple polymer because it's just a simple chain of polymers. The second one is a branched polymer because you can see grafts coming out of the main. So this is similar to a grafted polymer, right? You can see grafts coming out of one main chain of monomer. The last one is cross-linked, where a mesh-like structure is formed in the polymer. So this also depends. I mean, like the the mesh one or the cross-link polymer is probably more stronger when compared to the other two. So it basically would depend totally upon your application, exactly what you want out of these polymers. So I hope you had a very fruitful session learning about types of polymers and the properties. I shall see you again soon with another video. Till then, take care.